So the next question that I have for you is really probably more in your wearing your hat as the vice chair of the IASB, and given your background in investment banking and your particular interest in financial instruments, just how has IFRS 9 been received? I mean, is the board aware of any issues that companies are facing? As we know, the effective date was for financial years commencing 1st of January 2018. So at least some companies have gone at least through their half years now under the new standard. So are there any issues that have sort of popped up post effective date that the IASB is aware of? And if issues do come up, what sort of response can people expect?
So how's it been received? I think it took a lot of work for people to apply IFRS 9, and I think a lot of people probably wish they'd started earlier than they did. But I think most people have got over the line and they've got there, from what I understand. We've had to deal with a few issues along the way. We had to make the amendment to prepayments, which I mentioned. We've helped out in other cases just using webcasts with what do you do with multiple scenarios, what do you do with the life of revolving facilities, some specific questions that have come up. Going forward, if more questions come up, it'll be the job of the Interpretations Committee or the board typically to look at those questions. We've got an issue coming up shortly that actually I think emanated from this part of the world, on what you do with suspended interest and how that works for expected credit losses. I think that's coming
Very
to the
topical.
Interpretations Committee shortly. And so we stand ready to help. But there's not that many open issues that are coming up. I mean, the main thing I hear about is what do people do and what decisions they make where they don't have a lot of data to support their loss estimates. And in some jurisdictions, I think that's a particular challenge. And a few questions still around how to be practical, working out what the expected credit losses are for intercompany loans. Those are probably the main things. And I guess from our side, what we're interested to see is what turns up in the final full year financial statements when we'll really get a good idea of what's happened, and how good the disclosures are. We've got very high expectations. Let's see whether we're disappointed or not. It will be something we'll be monitoring. Whether or not we get questions, we'll be looking and seeing whether we need to take any action.
Well, we wish everyone the best of luck. It is absolutely topical everywhere we go, certainly. And yeah, we're also looking very forward to seeing what the end product looks like. In closing, how would you as the IASB measure success of the IFRS 9 project, if I may call it that?
I think whether or not investors end up with a better understanding of credit risk and how credit risk is changing over time. I think that's our measure of success. It's not about did allowances increase or stay the same or did they go up by X%. It's have we got better understanding in the market and more confidence that investors really understand the basis upon which they're lending to banks in particular. That's what we set out to achieve. So that's our test.
Best of luck, Sue. Thank you very much. Folks, that was Chair of the IFRS Interpretations Committee, Sue Lloyd, is also Vice Chair of the IASB. Thank you.